Welcome to the Design Your Life 30-Day Yoga Journey, Day 2. Today's theme is, what do you want to feel? So make sure that you have a journal for this class. There will definitely be some journaling towards the end, but we're going to begin standing in Tadasana at the center of your mat. Make sure that your feet are hip-width apart, toes facing forward. So you want to look down at your second and third toes and make sure they're facing straight ahead. And then from there, stack your hips over your ankles, shoulders over your hips. Spin the palms out to the side. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. And close your eyes if that feels safe. Just like we did yesterday, begin to take deep breaths in and out through the nose and check in. How do you feel today? How does your physical body feel? How does your mind feel? Do you feel like you have chaos in your head and your thoughts, or do you feel pretty at ease? And how do your emotions feel? Our emotions, of course, are separate from us. We are not our emotions. Do you feel turbulent? Do you feel at peace? How do you feel? Today's class will explore the idea of determining what you want to feel. Whenever we have a goal or a dream we want to pursue, it is easiest to pursue an emotion. So, for the purposes of today's class, I want you to think right now, how do you want to feel today? What do you want to feel today? By knowing that, you can begin to ascertain the specific steps you need to take to get to that feeling. As we explored yesterday, consistency is small action over time. And that action over time has a lot of weight when you're pursuing a particular way that you want to feel in the world. That's what we're exploring today. As you're here in your Tadasana, maybe rock forward onto the toes of the feet, rock back onto the balls of the feet, and rock side to side. And then open your eyes. And we're going to begin with a gentle side bend, but we're going to do it in increments. So start by dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. That's all. You're not craning, you're not straining, you're just letting gravity do the work here. You're only going as far as is within your range of motion. Keep your hips over your ankles and slide that right hand down the thigh so your shoulders are shifting. You can put your hands on your hips if you need to at any point here. And then the next step is you're going to push your hips to the left. So we're going to get a nice big stretch all up and down the left side of the body. You can look straight forward or you can look up or down with the chin. It doesn't matter as long as it's comfortable and not straining your neck. You can stay here, or if you want to add on, you can lift the left arm up and overhead, relaxing the forearm on the top of the skull. And then we're going to come out of this the same way that we came into it. Pretty simple. You're going to bring that left hand back down by your side. You're going to shift the hips back so they're over the ankles. Shift the shoulders so they're over the hips. And lift the head up. And give yourself a little shimmy, a little shake. Great job. We're going to come to the second side. Drop the left ear over to the left shoulder. Again, you're not straining. You're not pushing. You're just relaxing, and you're probably not going to go very far, and that's okay. Slide the left hand down the thigh. Again, keeping the hips nice and square over the ankles. Continue to breathe as we move. And then you're going to push the hips out to the right, getting that whole right side of the body nice and stretched and opened. Almost imagine like you could separate your ribs a little bit to create a little bit more space in your rib cage. And then from here, again, if you want, you can lift the right arm up and over, bending at the elbow, letting the forearm rest on the top of the head. And breathe. You want to make sure you're opening up that top shoulder, that right shoulder, to the sky. No slumping forward. We're opening up through the body here. And then come out the same way we came in. Lower the right arm if you had it up and overhead. Bring the hips back over the ankles. Bring the shoulders back over the hips. Drop the chin into the chest and lift up. Beautiful. Well done. Give yourself another little shimmy, and then you want to widen the feet a little bit wider than the hips. You want a nice wide stance here. We're going to come into hip circles. So bring your hands to your hips and start to rotate the hips in a big circle, almost like you're scraping the insides of a peanut butter jar with your hips. You don't want to strain, of course, but you do want to push yourself a little bit here. Try and find like a nice stretch as you move, but allow the motion to feel very fluid, almost water-like. We're going to be doing a lot with our hips. We're going to be doing a lot of open-hipped poses. Go ahead and switch directions in this class. And so we want to make sure they're nice and warm and ready to go. And as we go through this class, keep thinking about, how do you want to feel today? What is that feeling that you want to experience today? We'll be journaling on it later, so keep it at the center of your mind, almost like an intention. Bring your feet back to hip width apart, or you can have them wider than your hips. It's up to you. Bring your hands into fists, and we're going to begin to twist. And as we twist, we're going to gently tap the opposite shoulder and the opposite lower back. So you can see me doing that here, twisting from one side. Hand hits the opposite body part, opposite shoulder, opposite lower back. You're not hurting yourself here, but what this does is this sort of wakes up these different areas of our bodies, our shoulders, our low back, our hips. It allows them to get the memo that we're going to do some work later. And then, of course, the twist is great for digestion, for mobility, for warming up the spine. Beautiful. Wonderful. From here, you can step out or heel toe your feet out into a wide-legged stance. You want it to be about the length of your own leg in between your feet. Lift up through the spine, nice and tall, and exhale the hands straight out to the sides. And we're just going to begin with really big arm circles. We want this to open up the shoulders, feel really good on the biceps here. Beautiful. And then switch directions. Several big arm circles back. Beautiful. Bring your hands back out to the side, and we're going to do tiny circles forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving pretty quickly. We're only going to do about 20. We're not going to be here for too long. Try and keep your arms up. Beautiful. And then go backwards. 20 circles. 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. Keep going. Don't mind me hitting my plant. Almost there. Beautiful. Keep your arms strong out to the sides. Inhale the arms up overhead, and exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward into your wide-legged forward fold. You can bend into one knee and then the other while you're here. Make sure your feet are at the very least parallel to the short edges of your mat, if not a little pigeon-toed. And sway side to side, bend through the knees. Again, I don't want you to go super far in each of these poses. We're more just aiming towards feeling good, which that might be what you want to feel today. You might just want to feel good, and this class will be a great assistant to that pursuit of feeling good. Begin to just straighten the legs and let the head and the body, the upper body, sway side to side, and gently roll yourself up, swaying side to side. Beautiful. Coming up to standing. From here, turn the right toes out to the side so that your feet come into a warrior two stance. Make sure that that right heel lines up directly with the middle of the left foot. Bend the right knee and come into warrior two. Arms straight out from the elbows. And breathe. Look out over those right fingertips. Find something to focus on, something to gaze at. And revisit. How do you want to feel today? And maybe start brainstorming. What are some things you can do to get to that feeling? Our feelings are always within our ability to change and to manipulate. From here, we're going to come into our warrior two pumps. So inhale the arms up, straighten the leg. Exhale, arms down, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg, arms up. Exhale, arms down, bend the knee. And just continue just like that. We'll do that a couple more. Make sure with every bend that your right knee goes directly over your right toes. You don't want it getting loosey-goosey or going off to either side. We want to keep a lot of stability in this fluidity. Beautiful. Just a couple more. Last one, and come back into your warrior two. Beautiful. Flip the front palm and reach back behind you into your reverse warrior, your humble warrior. If you want to put your left hand on your hip, you can. Again, you're not going super far. We're more just doing this for sensation, to feel good. I don't want you to go into your deepest expressions of each pose as we go through this class. Beautiful. Inhale yourself forward, back into warrior two. And then bring that front right elbow down onto your thigh. We're coming into side angle pose. So you can bring the elbow to the thigh, or you can grab the right shin with the right hand, or if you're feeling super flexible and like you've got a lot of mobility today, you can reach for the ground with the right hand. And then with that upper left arm, begin to make big circles with the arms in one direction. Beautiful. And then, of course, switch directions as well. Everything you do in one direction, we got to do in the other. Beautiful. Breathe here in your side angle pose. And then come back up to warrior two, straighten that front leg, and maybe heel toe the back foot in a little bit. We're coming into triangle oblique crunches. So reach that right arm forward as much as you can, as far as you can until you can't anymore. You're not collapsing over the leg. You're actively reaching through the obliques, and then you're going to use your belly button to pull yourself back up to the shoulders over the hips. So reaching forward until you can't anymore, pulling yourself back up. I want you to imagine that your core is acting like a bicep here. As you reach forward, almost like you're going into triangle pose, your belly button, your inner core is pulling you back up so your shoulders line up over your hips. Keep going, just like that. Keep pressing into the mat with the feet. That'll help stabilize you, help keep your balance, and help continue to activate your core. Almost there. Beautiful. And then from here, very nice. Reach all the way down into your triangle pose. So right hand comes down to either a block or the right shin. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling, and continue to spiral open that left shoulder up to the sky. And breathe here. You can look down or up or forward, whatever is comfortable in your neck. Beautiful. Lift yourself back up. Pivot that right foot so the toes are facing forward again. Inhale the arms up overhead, and exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Gently sway side to side here again in your forward fold. And walk your hands all the way over to the right. So we're getting into a deeper stretch into one side of the leg here in our wide-legged forward fold. I really love this because it can be difficult to stretch these particular muscles that we're stretching here in our forward fold. And moving from side to side really helps lubricate the joints and just add a little bit more mobility while we're here. Hands can rest on the foot or the shin or the mat. And then walk the hands all the way over to the left foot. Same thing. Continue to duck the chin into the chest as well. That'll help keep the spine nice and long and prevent any undue pressure on the low back. Walk your hands back to center. Begin to sway the upper body side to side and sway yourself all the way up to standing. Beautiful. We'll do that whole little warrior two sequence on the other leg. So turn the left toes out to face the short edge of the mat. Double check your feet. Make sure that that left heel lines up with the middle of the right foot, the arch of the right foot. Bend into the left knee and arrive in your warrior two. And take a couple breaths here. Breathing deeply, looking out over that left fingertip. And again, reconnect with, how do you want to feel? What can you do to get there. And these actions don't have to be big. More often than not, to get to what we want to feel, it usually takes something very small and simple. Continue to breathe. Press the feet into the mat. Feel the stability of the ground beneath you. Beautiful. And we're going to come into our Warrior 2 pumps. Inhale the arms up overhead, and exhale, press the hands down, straightening and bending the knee each time. We're doing about 10 of these. So as you move, maybe find a little bit of fluidity as you straighten the leg, bend the leg, lift the arms, lower the arms. But also feel stability. Make sure that that left knee is going straight out over the toes. There's that ability to find both fluidity and stability at the same time. Very nice. Beautiful. Land back in your Warrior 2. Flip the palms and come into your reverse warrior, reaching that left arm up and over and back. And again, like I said earlier, you're not coming into the most intense expression of the pose here. So here in your reverse warrior, focus on pressing through the feet. Focus on feeling a nice sensation through the left side of the body. And that's it. You don't get bonus points for hurting yourself, and you don't get bonus points for showing off unnecessarily. Beautiful. From here, coming into our side angle pose, and again, you have options. You can rest the left elbow on the left thigh. You can clasp the left shin with your left hand, or if you're feeling super mobile, super flexy, you can reach the left hand all the way to the mat. Regardless, begin to make really big circles with that right arm in one direction. Keep the shoulders nice and open as you do these, and then switch directions. We don't usually move this circularly, so this can be a nice addition to any yoga practice. Bend a little more into that front knee, and then come back up, straighten the left leg, and we're coming into those triangle oblique crunches. So walk that right foot in, heel toe it just a little bit so your stance is a little narrower. Straighten the arms out to the sides, and again, you're going to use your core, you're going to use your obliques here to reach yourself out as far to the left as you can, and then pull the hips back, pull the shoulders over the hips, and continue just like that, reaching, and then pulling yourself back. Reach, and pull. Beautiful. These are challenging. These should be a little bit challenging, but don't worry, this is probably the hardest part of the class today. Keep going. You're doing amazing. We've got a couple more. Beautiful. And from here, reach until you can't reach anymore, and let your hand drop into a triangle pose, either resting on a block on the left shin, or you might want to challenge your obliques and not have that left hand resting anywhere. Just have it in front of your thigh. In front of your shin. Wherever you are, open up that right shoulder to the ceiling and breathe. Come back up, pivot the left foot so it's straight to the mat, and then from here, we're going to make our way down into butterfly. Now you can just sit straight down if you'd like. I'm going through Malasana Yogi Squat because it feels good. Do you. Make your way down to the mat as you would like. If you'd like to hang out here in Malasana Yogi Squat with me for a minute, you can. And if you are in Yogi Squat, press the elbows into the thighs, really open up through the knees, press the hands together, lengthen through the spine. And then everybody meet. We're going to meet in butterfly pose. And this is going to be our journaling pose for today. I love journaling in butterfly. It's one of my favorites because the cool thing about butterfly is gravity is doing the pushing work, opening up your hips. If you have blocks, you can use them to form a little desk like I'm doing here. And in this journaling, I want you to journal about the questions that I've been asking throughout this whole class. So let's start with the easy one, which hopefully you know the answer to by now. What do you want to feel? And you can come back to this class as well to examine how you want to feel over the course of a year, the course of a month, the course of a week. It doesn't have to be so singular as today. But for today's purposes, answer the question, what do I want to feel today? And then once you have that answer, begin to write down just a couple easy things that you can do to arrive at that feeling. So, for example, if you want to feel connected, some things that you could do to feel connected are to reach out to friends or family. Just send a little text to say hey and to check in. You could also do some sort of ritual to feel connected to yourself, whether that's journaling or like we're doing right now, doing a tarot card reading, going for a walk. There are a number of things you can do to feel connected. If you want to feel at ease or rested, is there something that you can push off to tomorrow? Is there something that you can push off for tomorrow you so that today you can feel a little more rested? These things don't have to be complicated, but just take a couple moments and write them down. Go ahead and finish your thought. Set your journal aside. Gently bring the knees together and let the feet come wider than the hips so you can windshield wiper the legs side to side. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to come into a gentle Shavasana. Come to lie down on your back. And depending on how your hips feel, you might want to come into a full Shavasana with the legs stretched out, feet as wide as the mat. But you can also bend the knees and have the feet still as wide as the mat, but with the knees knocking in together. That might feel nice on your low back if your hips or your pelvis are feeling a little sensitive. No matter where you are, rest your hands by your sides, close your eyes, and enjoy your Shavasana. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Make circles with the wrists and the ankles, and we're going to come up to a seated position. So make your way there however feels comfortable. You can hug your knees into your chest. You can do a full body stretch. You can do both. Whatever you need to get yourself out of your Shavasana and back up to a comfortable meditation seat, because we're going to finish this off with a short, simple meditation. If you need to prop yourself up on a block or a cushion, do so. And when you arrive, let your hands rest in your lap, close your eyes, and as you breathe, come back to that feeling that you want to feel. See if you can find that feeling here, in this moment, in this meditation, in each breath that you take for the next couple of minutes. Come back to your breath if you got distracted or your mind wandered. And no matter how your day goes from this point on, know that you have the power and the ability to feel what you want to feel. Not everything is completely out of our control, including our emotions. So whatever it is that you want to feel later on today, know that you can get there eventually. And it might not happen today, and that's okay. The goal of these classes is to create a trajectory, not so much arrive at a goal. Take a couple more deep breaths. Tuck the chin into the chest. Maybe begin to rub the thighs or rub your hands together, just to bring some awareness back into your body, back into your present moment. See how much of the room around you you can feel, you can sense. Know that you can come back to this class whenever you need to pinpoint where you're going, what your trajectory is, and what you want to feel. And whenever you are ready, take a deep breath in and out through the nose, maybe lift the hands up overhead, reach through the spine up to the ceiling, and exhale, pull the hands to heart center and open your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this class. I hope it was beneficial. Give it a thumbs up if it was. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe because there's 28 more classes coming your way. Until next time, have a lovely rest of your day. Know that how you feel is within your reach. And until tomorrow, have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.